This video is brought to you by Big Bad Toy Store. Make your purchases through my personal link in the description to help out the channel. Furthermore, if you want to support me more directly, you can check out my YouTube channel membership for fun emojis and sneak peeks, or my Patreon. Links in the description. So, long-time followers of this channel has known that I've been trying to make like a perfect Arkham Batman figure for like a very, very long time. And I'm pretty much close to perfect here. The only thing that's really been bothering me all these years are the single jointed elbows for this guy. And the following little experiment isn't really my credit at all. It's actually a kit bash by Statement Different on Instagram, and I will put a link to his Instagram in the description if you want to check him out. So, according to his instructions, apparently the issue with just kind of swapping, and according to him, you can't really just swap the arms here because it doesn't line up with this like floating disc piece here. So therefore, he used the disc joint from this figure instead. This is the Dark Knight's metal. And the reason why I want to go with these arms in the first place here is because this line here matches up with the Arkham type of like design. And he also has these double jointed elbows that I really want. I guess we'll just disassemble everything and we'll see where it goes. So for this guy, usually with McFarlane, you can just kind of like... Well, you can usually just kind of pull, but everything came off, so maybe this one instead. And the reason why I got the unmasked Thomas Wayne figure that I assume no one really wants, because I can't really imagine anyone loving this head sculpt too much. So I just had a second thought, maybe I don't actually need to use this guy, because just looking at it, what if I just modify... I don't really know what the joint in here looks like, but maybe I can just modify it so that this joint fits on. So we'll try to... Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, this is not gonna work because... I mean, it could, but I would have to kind of just to remove everything. You know what? Maybe I'll kind of lines up with like this entire section here. So maybe I can just like use a rotary tool to grind it into a fitting shape. I think we'll try to do that before we do anything else, because I'm not gonna... Because if this doesn't work out, I wasn't going to use this piece anyway, so let's just do it. So it turns out that trying to create a new joint was way too difficult and was way too messy, so I'm going to do, like, Statement Different said. The issue here is that this hole is really, really deep in, and it doesn't really fit the new shoulders that well. Like, it straight up doesn't connect. And apparently that has something to do with this, like, floaty piece. And it doesn't work with the Flashpoint Batman either. Even, like, you can tell it looks slightly different. This one's a lot flatter here. This is the Flashpoint one, and I don't really know exactly how this one's looks, but we're gonna find out. So, I got it out, and first thing I noticed is that it's drastically smaller. This is the one from the Dark Knight's metal one. It's drastically smaller than the original joint, and maybe that's why it works. So, we'll put it in like so. Okay, so that does actually snap in. I mean, it's a little bit noticeable, I guess. But it's better than when there was nothing there. Also, the plastic isn't like a 100% match. It's slightly darker, but I figure since Batman's gonna have his cape over his arms for the most part anyway, it doesn't really matter. It was more important to have like a closer match to the legs on the torso than the arms, I think. So yeah, we'll just keep swapping. Go, new shoulders. And what I could do now is just put the arms on and call it a day, but I don't really want these gauntlets. I want the Arkham ones. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up both, and then I'm gonna try to take off the gauntlets and then put the old ones on. So I have to like cut everything off here because it's just sitting a little bit too hard for me to be able to just heat up and then kind of peel it off. There we go. That's one, and this is does it say this is the left one? And I just noticed that this is actually not a separate piece. This is the actual forearm. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to destroy this entire arm and then hollow out the inside of it and then make it so I can just kind of stick this in So I'm in the process of just hollowing out the inside of this gauntlet piece, and with that I'm using my rotary tool. So, kinda work in progress still, but you get the idea. Here, we can just slide it on like so, and boom. And now let's do it with the other one. So here we go, the gauntlets are installed, and as you can see, he's got a double jointed bend. And we can just tie it up like that, and just enjoy the improvement from this, pretty much this. And I will say it was absolutely worth it. My only issue is, like I mentioned earlier, that the arms don't really match the torso. It's not really like super noticeable unless you like stare at it, because for the most part I'm gonna have the cape over his arms anyway. But I don't know, it's because I think I remember the three Joker's Batman's legs are also a slightly different color, but the breakup of the black hair kind of helps hide it a little bit. I'm not sure how the original Arkham Asylum Batman looks, because I think that figure is darker. Maybe that would work better, but I don't know. For now, at least, this is satisfactory, and I think it turned out pretty great. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed.